Hello, hello, and welcome back, everybody, to the Adult Table, the premier freeform conversation show amongst two friends, shit talking everything that is worth shit talking, raking all the muck that is fit to rake, where no subject is left off the table. I am, of course, your slightly inebriated host, Trav, brought to you always with my fellow host, the Vanilla Gorilla, the man, the meat, the legend, the 500-pound bench pressing machine, and Ozempic's final boss, the one and only Joey Fats.
I'm doing my best to make sure that I never go full Lizzo.
Well, you don't because, well, I mean, maybe consult your doctor if Lizzo will work for you. You can lose weight. It just involves you shitting out of your ears by listening to her music.
Just shit in your ears. It's fine.
That got brought up at a party I was at on Saturday. Me and this other couple, along with my girlfriend, we started talking South Park, and they said if Lizzo, they brought up the Lizzo, I was like, and then we started quoting Team America. It was great.
I mean, it usually leads down that path, right?
Yep, it certainly did. And you know what also leads down to the path over the weekend, Mondays, and here we are again, my friend.
Yes, we are. And what a time to be alive, because, boy, do we got a lot to talk about tonight.
Well, shit, I mean, we can skip the preamble. Like, you made me, I was like, hey, what do we want to talk about just before we went live here? And you're like, well, we could talk about that shooting that happened in Montreal. I was like, the shooting that happened, I was like, which one? Unfortunately, I have to be able to say that.
Yeah, it's a sad state of affairs when you have to ask to specify which horrific event that we want to talk about first.
Yep. But you informed me of which one. I looked it up and immediately saw, oh, that happened today. That's why I don't know about it, because
yes,
I was at work. I wasn't really following the news all that much today, and then got home, did all my stuff, and now I'm here. But
so I didn't really look too much, or I haven't seen too much about it, like in terms of like you actually told me that he had left a manifesto, the shooter.
Again, I don't know if that's legit or not. That's just something
like
I saw pop up.
I haven't seen anything. All I've seen is the videos that were filmed by people from their, like I would assume from like an office building across the street, if you will.
Yeah, or balcony.
That had basically a bird's eye view, like a stadium style view of a execution being taken place. 3 people were killed, 1 cop, 1 civilian, and 1 shooter. So I guess 2 people in a dick bag were killed.
Yes.
2 were net losses to society. 1 was a net gain.
It's just unfortunate that the other 2 had to. And you sent me the video. I obviously can't play it on here.
Yeah, it'd probably be. I don't know how YouTube would feel about that.
I mean, we're not monetized. I don't monetize our videos when we're doing this stuff. I'll monetize my like gaming stuff, but that's different. I'm not even gonna risk doing that right now.
Yeah, especially with your, I would say your checkered social media history.
That's being
they might look at this
awfully polite of you.
Fuck this guy.
I mean, considering my devices are flagged with Facebook, at least I still can have an Instagram account. But until I get a new phone,
if you haven't seen it, the video of course I'm talking about, it's pretty bad. It's tough to watch, obviously, because like I don't know, like as somebody like I always like think of like when I think of like dying, I always think about like even though I'm not gonna know I'm dead, probably, unless like heaven is an actual thing, which would be cool if it is. I'll be super thrilled. Like I mean, I'll be beyond thrilled if that's the case. But like because it's a happy place, and you're like dead, but you're like Stan's dad when he turns into a butterfly in the Inception episode, and he's just
I'm gonna get butterfly
I'm off to
poon.
get butterfly poon, and you're like. It's like, Dad, you got to help me. He's like, I have no concern for such things.
Yeah, exactly. I'm beyond all this.
But also, I'm like, damn, man. I'm like, like I can't like I'm like, man, what if I get in like a car accident and die tomorrow? I'm like, fuck, like I would miss Atlanta. I'd miss the Atlanta race in 2 weeks, and I wouldn't be able to go to Daytona in August. And like, what if the Broncos win the Super Bowl in February? I'll be so pissed if I'm dead and I miss that. Like,
Well, dude, if you're
these are the things I think about.
If you can come back as a butterfly and land on fucking Bo Nix's helmet, like just before he fucking throws like the game-winning touchdown, wouldn't that be something?
I mean, I would just grace him with the perfect pass. It would be guided by a hand of God. Like God, like you get to like, you get to heaven and God's like, you get to perform one miracle that like you can directly, like angels in the outfield style, interject in. It doesn't have to be sports related, it could be anything. And I'm just like,
but it could be.
I just say fuck it, and I just guide like a Bo Nix pass to the end zone in the Super Bowl for the win. And then everybody's like, really? Like you don't want to like you could have like saved like one of your best friends from like a horrific death. I'm like, nope.
No.
God bless Bo Nix.
Well, no, you can't go back and change something in the past. You can affect something in the present.
No, I mean like, like they're like, you might want to hold on to that miracle, dude. Like you've only been here for like a quarter second. You're already like just giving it to the Broncos to win the Super Bowl. Like,
because if you could go back in time, everybody would have killed Hitler. Like,
I mean, personally, I wouldn't have. I think Uncle Addy was, onto something. But no, I'm just kidding.
No, I wouldn't have gone back and killed him. I would have encouraged him and told him his artwork was very good and he should pursue that.
Exactly.
Instead of other endeavors.
Art. Yeah. Pursue art. Like I would have done a lot more. I would have done a lot of things differently. Killing Hitler's like the easy one, but what about Stalin? I mean, that fucking guy was just as big of an asshole.
Oh, I mean, more people died under him.
Exactly, but he was on our side, so
he wasn't a Nazi. Well, he was until the very end of the war, and it's like, oh, now we're entering 30 years of a Cold War.
Yeah. Which that hasn't really worked out for him either, but nonetheless,
but yeah, I would like to think we end up somewhere nice as well.
Sure.
Especially that I don't know why that person walked in the way where they did. It looked like they were trying to aid one of the officers there, and then just got popped right in the head.
Face.
You immediately see the blood go up against the wall too. Like,
yeah, it was brutal.
And you see them moving a little bit, but that is like the death movements.
Yeah, that's if you played Turok, on N64 as a kid. We called those moves. When the dinosaurs would like kind of like jiggle on the ground after you killed them, like, oh, moves, check it out, moves.
It's oddly, because I've seen other videos of people getting shot and stuff like, or like suicide, like they did a shooting and then shoot themselves, and then they go limp, and then they go stiff, and then they go limp again. It's
it's weird what your how your body reacts.
But like you were saying. It is not like the movies. It's
no, it's not. It's
way more visceral.
It's a lot worse. Like I mean, the moves thing, like the feet jiggle thing. I got introduced to that in The Rock, during that one scene. When they shoot the air conditioning thing and it falls on the guy and crushes him, and his legs are sticking out and the feet are twitching. And
yes,
Nicolas Cage is like, "What is that?" And he's like, "The feet thing," and he's like, "Yes." He's like, "Seen it before." He's like, "Can you do anything to do it?" He goes, "What do you want me to do? Kill him again?"
Yeah.
Like. It was kind of like a lighthearted humor moment in that movie.
Which there's
this was not lighthearted,
not
lighthearted nor humorous. This poor fucking guy. I mean, so for those that haven't seen the video, let me set it up. There's a guy in camouflage. He ambushes two cops. He shoots one. They go to duck behind like what looks like a concrete planter that you would see like in a urban setting.
It's just on the outside of a tall building. I don't know what the building was, but.
Looks like a Starbucks or something. Like could have been there. Like
it's that type of layout. Yeah.
Yeah, and they duck behind it for cover, and the guy's 20, 30 feet away from him. The shooter is 20, 30 feet away behind another one. That's a little bit further down the sidewalk.
Yeah, it's not a big distance.
And you see one of the cops. He gets hit, and you see him crawl to a car like to try to get an angle and cover. But he stops moving, and there's a trail of blood left behind him. So that was probably a critical hit. It was because he died, unfortunately.
He probably bled out
pretty quickly.
Depending on where he was hit, but yes.
Because it didn't look like, no one got to him really quickly either. And then, inexplicably, So there's a female cop, and she's like got her gun drawn, and she's cowering behind this planter, and she's looking out the right side of it for the shooter.
Yes.
And the civilian comes up behind her on her left, and she turns, sees him, and just shoots. Like, doesn't even, I mean, which I can't, for a lot of people in the comments were like, this is why females shouldn't be cops. I'm like, what the fuck would you have done? I would have done the same thing.
She
Like,
didn't know who that person was.
Yeah, like, you're literally getting shot at by somebody, and this guy just appears behind you, like, literally inches away from you. I would have to imagine that he was either an accomplice or the shooter himself. And it's super unfortunate that this guy lost his life in this instance because, you know, he really should never have been there. I mean, I guess, and I don't want to, like, you know, victim blame here, but, like,
what was he thinking?
Yeah, that was kind of like the ultimate lack of situational awareness if I've ever seen it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
there's an active shootout going on. How do you not hear the gunshots? You see a guy down and bleeding. Maybe his instinct was to go help the guy that was hit, but he walked over, like, just nonchalantly and stood over her like, hey, what's going on? And she turns and pops him.
Yeah.
And he immediately, like you said, immediately you see the blood splatter behind him, and then he goes down in a heap, and you're like, oh, fuck. Like, and meanwhile, there's people filming this as it's happening. They're watching it in real time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm like, good God, man. And and then the video cut out after that. It ended. I don't know what happened to the shooter, if he was taken down by the female cop or someone else came and did it. He put the gun on himself. I have no idea. But it was pretty horrendous to see the cop get shot, stumble over to that car, like the front of that car behind it, and like die. And then the poor guy just like walk up to the woman cop and be like, you know, what do they say in Canada? Like, you know, like,
oh, sorry,
hey,
eh?
buddy. Hey, buddy, everything okay, guy? And then he just gets shot in the face.
But here's a gift card to Bennigan's.
Yeah, we got 3 pieces of bubble gum and 25% off Bennigan's.
And then they just look at it like,
yeah. That's it. We're starting you adrift. But no, it was
not
it
to
was
make
tough.
light of this at all. Yeah,
it's. I mean, it's kind of what we do. We take serious shit and we make light of it a little bit. But it is a tragedy. It is awful. 2 people lost their lives today that didn't need to. You know, one a cop in Montreal and another what seemingly was an innocent bystander.
And we're gonna have to
could not have been at the most wrong place at the wrong time.
But inexplicably walked out there the way that they did. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
That could not. We're waiting to hear who this person was. I highly doubt they had any law enforcement training or anything because they would not walk out like that. Like,
no, like, and I get that, like, you know, obviously, like, my job and my career has like bred into me like a certain level of like head on a swivel all the time, like even when you're in public. But I've always been like that.
Yeah.
Even before I took my current job, I was always like super aware of my surroundings. Like, you know, I was like one of those people that always wanted my back to the wall so I could see the entrance, the exits, like nowhere to go. Like,
yeah, that way you can't be taken from behind.
Yeah, or just like, and I always like, you know, I always knew like, okay, there's an exit. We could go out that way if we needed to. Fire, you know, you never know. It's just like it's a guy thing, right? Like,
yeah.
Some of us are just wired like that, and
some of us are assessing our surroundings all the time. Others not as much.
Yeah, like I always like make like, you know, come up like I always joke like, you know, when I'm on the road and I'm driving, you know, I always like, because to me driving is like one of those things that like people get killed so needlessly doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you just take like 12 ounces of common sense, a little bit of patience, and some situational awareness, there's no reason for anybody to die in a car.
Completely avoidable. Yes.
Yeah. But people they're so cavalier about piloting around these 4,000-pound steel missiles, thinking that they're invincible and nothing ever bad is going to happen to them. Or worse yet, they don't know that like what they do at that certain time sets off a chain reaction behind them that gets some fucking poor sap killed too.
Yep.
Absolutely. But like I always joke, like, you know, like I'm always actively engaged in the act of driving while I'm behind the wheel.
Yes.
Right? Like, and, you know, some people are sitting there, they're scrolling their phone, looking at the radio, daydreaming. Me, I'm like that scene in Terminator where they're on the road at night where it's just like,
yep,
like scanning constantly for anything that like could be a threat or need, and like, but that's how I like see myself when I drive.
Same. I'm the same way, but I might skip a song on my phone if it's not hitting right.
Oh, trust me.
But
I'll
other
look
than
down.
that, I
look
am
down
like
at my phone.
I'm like
I'm guilty of it too. You know what I mean? But
I'm fucking like Ryan Gosling in Drive.
yeah,
Just on my way to work, just
Just
locked in.
locked in, wire, laser focused, hardwired. Like this is it, man. Like we're doing this.
Yeah, might stomp a guy's head in an elevator later. I don't know. The day's still young.
But I always like preach to my to my wife and like people like around me and things like that. Like especially my wife, like I am a big proponent of situational awareness. Like identify your surroundings, understand that there might not be a threat right now, but if there was one, where would it come from? How would it get to you? Do you fight or do you fly? Like, and if you're gonna run, where are you gonna run to? Like,
where are the closest exit
I map
points?
this shit out when I walk into a restaurant for lunch, like before I even sit down. You know what I mean? Like, but that's just the way I'm wired. And this guy clearly either didn't know what was going on, or was completely oblivious, or just had zero situational awareness and got himself killed.
It remains to be seen why he stepped out there.
The problem is we'll never know because he's dead, so he can't just be like, he can't get up with he's like, oh, he got shot in the liver and now he's fine. It's not like he's gonna get up and tell us and be like, yeah, I'm paralyzed from the waist down now because the bullet pierced my spine and whatever. But I saw a cop. I saw blood. I thought, oh, maybe they need help. Like, are they okay? And I just walked over, like, not thinking, and then all of a sudden got shot. Like, we'll never know.
For all we know, she might have even yelled, "Get down," or "Get out!" Like, what are you doing? Before she shot, she might have.
No, I don't think so. Just watching the video.
I only watched it twice, to be fair.
The way she reacted upon seeing him,
it was just instant.
There was no verbal command given. If anything, it was and just shot.
Shot, and it was a. Usually, we give shit to women officers and law enforcement of any type shit because they don't react properly like that. But now this is like, well, it's the opposite of the spectrum. It was just like, did she literally jump the gun and fucking just?
See, I don't think she did anything wrong. I don't think.
I'm not saying she did either. What I'm saying is like,
but a lot of the comments did. A lot of the people in the comments were like, "Why did she just shoot that guy? He wasn't a threat." And like, she's literally being shot at by a gunman that she saw 30 feet away from her.
And now here's a guy walking
dead, and then there's a guy standing right next to her.
Yeah,
like you don't. And people don't realize, too, like, when you're in those situations, and this is why training is so important, and we always, like, they always say, like, practice how you play. And at work, we drill. Every week we have a drill. And it's to, refresh us on what to do in this situation and so on and so forth.
Well, yeah, you need it in that field.
Yeah, like,
absolutely.
People don't understand. When your adrenaline is going, you inevitably will get tunnel vision. Even the best of us will get tunnel vision.
Mm-hmm.
You might see a guy with a gun shooting at you, but you're not going to duck behind cover and then be like, oh, okay, 6-foot male, blonde hair, wearing camouflage is shooting at me.
Yeah, you're not the Terminator or RoboCop with the HUD display analyzing everything in real time.
And depending on where the sun was, the shadows, like, you might not even be able to identify that in the split second that you have.
Yeah.
To realize the fact that they realized they were even being shot at and were able to get the cover was already like, okay, good job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's actually pretty impressive because a lot of people would be like, wait, what? And they'd stand around like, what the fuck was that? And then they get shot again. These cops ducked behind cover quickly after the first one got hit, but it's not that simple. Like, it doesn't happen. Like, your reaction time in these situations is nowhere near as quick as you think it is. Mm-hmm. But it's always the people that have never been in any type of situation like this or trained for one or even thought about being in one. They just think it's like, oh yeah, why don't you just shoot him in the leg? It's so easy. Like, you ever tried to shoot somebody in the leg that's shooting at you and moving, like, while you're moving? It's not John Wick, dude. Like, this doesn't. It's
and
not
everybody,
how this shit happens.
Law enforcement, military or not, everyone is trained, if you take actual shooting lessons, to aim for center mass.
Center mass. Usually the highest percentage. That's the highest percentage you have of hitting your target.
Yeah.
And one of the big things in law enforcement is they say, like, oh, well, you shoot to kill. Like, why are you shooting to kill? Like, no, we're not shooting to kill. We're shooting to stop the threat. That's it.
If
like,
it kills
period.
them.
If it kills them, so be it. But, like, even when we're trained, like, we run certain drills. We have to qualify at the range every year. We run certain drills where they teach you, like, shoot for the pelvis. You know, like, if you can take out a guy, if you can hit a guy in the hip or the legs or the pelvis, the dick, the balls, whatever, like, that's a soft target. That's a main, but that is going to stop somebody, especially if they're high on, you know, meth or PCP or, God forbid, you know, whatever they're on.
Yep.
And they're not feeling pain. That's literally going to physically stop them. Like a couple flesh wounds in the chest, you know, they're going to die eventually, but maybe not before they close that 13, 14, 15 feet away from you they are and stick that knife in your chest too.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's levels to this shit. So it's looking at that video and seeing that woman, that cop, I feel awful for her because she is going to have to live with the fact the rest of her life that she killed an innocent civilian.
Mm-hmm.
And that is going, and I mean, I've never been in that situation. I pray to God I'm never in that situation.
Same.
I don't know anybody personally that's done it, but I know friends of friends that have done it. And they will tell you to a man, it fucks with you for the rest of your life. Like you can't escape it. They will have to live with that burden now for the rest of their life. She will have to live with that.
And especially in this scenario, because particularly if this man was just trying to help,
right. A guy came to your aid and you shot him. Like that is going to fucking ruin her life. Guaranteed.
It would still fuck with her if that was another perp, and aiming a gun at her, but. Yes, it will to some degree, but this is going to be even worse than that because it was potentially just somebody.
Right, but you can't possibly know that in the amount of time.
No.
That all took place. You know what I mean? No one. I don't care who you are. Like even the most highly trained individual is most likely going to shoot that guy because you're looking right. You're looking for the threat. You can't see him. You know he was moving.
You're gonna be under fire in a second or so.
And then you turn left, and there's a figure standing there that, you know,
you don't recognize.
At least matches the silhouette of what you just think you just saw shooting at you and kill your partner. You're not taking that chance. You're not going to be like, oh, excuse me, sir, do you have a gun on you? Oh, you don't? Oh, okay, go ahead. Like, no, you boom, like you react because if you don't react, you die.
Yeah.
Because if that is the perp, then you're fucked. Like you're already cooked. And a lot of times, I mean, even guys like I've talked to, I've not talked to, but I talked to some guys that were, you know, they were in Vietnam and things like that, and shit like that happened to them. And they're like, I didn't know if it was my buddy or it was a VC, and I just turned and shot, and thank God I did because it was a Viet Cong that had crept up on us.
Yeah.
And they're like, if I hadn't a shot, I'd be dead right now. And even that fucks with them.
Exactly.
Like, I don't even know if I should be here. And it's like,
and
again, I'm not trying to say like by no means am I any expert on combat or anything like that. I've had a couple of friends over the years, older friends that were in Vietnam and I was fortunate enough to even hear that much about their experience there because most of them don't talk about it at all.
A good amount of them, at least the ones that saw some shit, they
and they won't, and even still, like a lot of guys, like military guys, they don't even talk. Like I don't know if you've ever heard this from like ex-military guys, but like a lot of times, like they won't even tell you the shit that they did in the barracks, like the non-combat stuff, whether the way they fucked around and did stuff, because you can't possibly understand their behavior if you weren't there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, there's like, I guess there's a code, and I didn't know this until fairly recently. I guess there's a code amongst like the armed service. Like you don't talk about like what went on in the barracks to civilians. Like you can talk to like the Marine, like if it's like say the Marines, for example, you can talk to other Marines about it, but you don't divulge those stories to civilians because they won't understand. They won't get it. And then they'll hear it and they'll think, oh my God, that's horrible and barbaric. And they're like, yes, it is. But you don't get it because you weren't there. You're not one of us.
You don't understand this level of not just brotherhood, but uh, just absolute trust
Savagery.
with everyone involved.
Also,
All
yes,
that
trust.
stuff.
Trust is an even better way to put it.
It
You're right. And
it's
and
kind of
again,
like the highest level of trust you can have in anybody else.
there's like there's a stigma like out there about some of these guys that go out on podcasts and stuff, these like Navy SEALs and ex military guys, and
Mhm.
talk about their experiences overseas. And they're like, dude, fuck this guy. Like he's like, you shouldn't be telling civilians about this stuff. Like, and you'll go through the comments and it'll be like ex-military guys, and I'm like, and I asked one of my buddies about it, and I said, is that a real thing? Because I have obviously a ton of friends that are ex-military, especially in my line of work, and they're like, oh yeah. He's like, and one of my buddies was like, dude, he's like, I love you. He's like, you're my boy. He's like, I tell you anything, but he's like, there's certain things I wouldn't tell you
Mm-hmm.
because you wouldn't get it. You weren't there. You weren't one of us. You weren't there in that moment. And what might seem like this horrific, like usually it comes down to like some sort of like level of like hazing, if you will, you know,
Yeah.
and or like picking on somebody or whatever. And they're like, you don't get it. Like you, and it's like, well, that's not okay. It's like, no, it is. And everybody who was there was okay with it. The only people who aren't okay with it are the people looking at it from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem. We don't need your opinion. You weren't there.
Yeah.
And I get that and I respect it. So I try not to ask too much.
Yeah, same.
But in this case, like I said, this female cop, this poor cop, like she's gonna have to live with this for the rest of her life because this guy just made a completely innocent mistake and probably was just trying to help and ended up costing him his life, and that sucks.
Yeah, because by all accounts, we don't know what his motive was. Apparently, I haven't seen any. Granted, I just found out about this 10 minutes before we jumped on, because you informed me about it. But it doesn't seem like he was an aggressor of any sort. Why he popped out like that, I don't think anybody will ever know.
I mean, if there's a cop with their gun out, the last thing I'm going to do is like get 6 inches from them and come around a corner. I mean, it just seems like, but again, like this is Canada. Canada, they're conditioned to be like, oh, hey, buddy, everybody's my buddy, like, and it's like, no, dude, like this is real life shit. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm not saying that couldn't happen or wouldn't happen in America, but in America, people hear gunshots and they're immediately like, fuck out of here. Like, it's either fight or flight, right?
Well, it depends on the scenario. This was broad daylight in a public area. Granted, there wasn't like a mass of people there, but we've had, daytime mass shootings before that had more than.
I mean, Virginia Tech, one of the worst ones of all time.
Yes. And even before that, the goddamn fucking clock tower.
Wasn't that Vatech?
I think that was University.
I think that was
Texas.
Virginia Tech. Oh, the
one in like the 60s or 70s. The one you're thinking of was Virginia Tech, the Asian kid.
Yeah, he had like a snipe. It was like a team. There was like two of them.
Oh, you might be wrong. I thought that was also a lone gunman. I might be wrong.
United States culture. I'm gonna kill 30 people. Yeah, I guess that was a different one. You're right. Yeah, because he was in a dorm with 2 pistols.
Yeah.
The Asian kid who went bananas.
I mean, either way, it's sad that you can be able to say, oh, no, that was a different one.
Right. Unfortunately, this has become, a regular occurrence in our society. But neither here nor there. I pointed that video out to you because obviously it was big news. It obviously broke today.
Yeah, I didn't even know about it until you told me about it during our preamble.
I'm not encouraging anybody to go look at the video, but if you want to see what not to do in a situation like that, it could be a fairly teachable moment, at least for yourself. I mean, I'm not saying like show your kids like, hey, kids, this is what you don't do, because it's pretty graphic, but it's sad. But crazy people exist, and I think that's where I think we need to remember that crazy people with guns don't just exist in America. It's
Yeah.
It's not just an American thing. It's not isolated to us. And you need to be, I don't know. I'm always hyper aware of my surroundings, at least try to be.
As you
And
should
just
be.
Oh yeah, just be aware of everywhere you're at. Just be aware of where you're at and who's around you.
It's not paranoid to assess your surroundings, be aware of them, and
No, it's called self-preservation.
calculate. Like, even if it's not going to be a factor, you never know. So you're doing the smart thing by at least mapping things out mentally. To those degrees.
Because, like I said, at least if you have, and everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at least you've thought about it, and you're not like searching, like, oh fuck, where do we go? You know what I mean? You can at least bail and be like, okay, let's go here. I mean, even in the grocery store, sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm approaching, like, I know if like I'm at the meat counter, and all of a sudden I hear shots ring out. Like, I know, okay, I can cut through the meat room, go, back through grocery, and there's going to be an emergency exit in the back of the store that I can bust out of.
Yeah, depending on which grocery store you're in. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Well, they're all pretty much built the same, you know what I mean? But like, like they have the storerooms in the back, like those have to have emergency exits. Like,
yeah, if you can find your way back to what it. Yeah, basically, if you can find where like the deli is, there's not there's definitely an entrance to the warehouse very close next to that. At the very
deli,
least.
grocery, dairy. There's always, and they all channel into a back area that you can get out of. So
yes,
but it's just like stupid shit like that. Like, I don't know. It's always just things that like I find myself thinking about. Again, it's not paranoia. It's just, like I said, situational awareness. And unfortunately, and in this case, I feel like this guy could have saved his own life by not startling a cop who's in the middle of a shootout. It just seems like a really, really, really like dumb, avoidable way to die.
Again, we're probably never gonna know why,
because we can't possibly.
We can't ask him.
Yeah.
What his intentions
were.
Like
that scene in Bad Boys 2. Let's ask him. Oh, wait. His brains are under the coffee table over there.
Yeah, you might as well ask what's his name in the back of the car in Pulp Fiction. After.
Yeah, Marvin.
Yeah, Marvin. And then you got to call the wolf.
Marvin in the face.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to repeat. Does it look like blank dead blank storage here?
Storage? Yeah. I love how Quentin Tarantino like always writes his own lines in these movies, and he always gets to say the N-word. Like, he gives himself the pass. It's so funny.
he writes all of it anyways.
Right.
But then yes, he does put himself into
and then he'd be able to say that, and then he like obviously the from Dusk Till Dawn he wrote in the scene of like Selma Hayek pouring the tequila down her body,
and that wasn't even his movie. That was Robert Rodriguez. He was just in it.
Yeah, he put that scene in there.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He made,
yeah. Oh, 1,000,000% he did.
I mean,
you got Selma Hayek at her peak.
I mean, yeah, dude.
I mean, she still looks great, but
she does.
And he's like, "Wait, you got her cast in this movie? Well, I got to do a shot of tequila down. She pours down her leg off her foot into my mouth, and her foot's in my mouth because I'm Quentin Tarantino."
Let's see, Selma Hayek peak. What would Selma Hayek's recognized 1990s? I mean, 2000. Let's see. So let's see. 2002 is what I'm seeing that they say she reached her peak at. I don't know if they mean career-wise or looks-wise, but
well, I mean, both are kind of subjective, although acting-wise might be objective.
My God, dude. So yeah, 2002 Selma Hayek was pretty ridiculous.
Well, that's why my argument for From Dusk Till Dawn is, I think, valid, because that's even before. That was like 96. Yeah.
Let me see if I can. Dusk. Oh my God.
I think that's the reason why she got like attention after. Like, can you name what did she do before From Dusk Till Dawn?
I wish she had done something in the adult film industry. Damn.
Right. Well,
yeah,
I mean, there's another.
She was in.
There's a bunch of other porn stars actual porn stars that kind of look like her, and like.
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously, but it's not her.
True.
It's like you could bang the girl that looks like what's her name from Game of Thrones in a porno, but it's still not the girl from Game of Thrones. You know what I mean?
Oh, and it never will be unless you're given the opportunity, which is highly unlikely for any of us.
You know, I like to think I've got a shot, but probably not.
You'd like to think that.
I
Like-
would, yeah.
Like one of my old weird roommates, he was like, "Oh, you know Emma Watson," and I was like,
No, never heard of him.
"This is a while ago."
Yeah.
Like 2009, 2010ish.
Yeah,
And he was like, "Oh yeah, she goes to Brown University.
she sure does.
You want me?" He's like, "I'm gonna like drive up there and just like kind of hang around campus and see if I can see her." I was like, "I'm not going with you. That's,
that's
weird."
weird.
You know. So
First
who
of
are you
all,
talking about
weird.
again? And he's like, "Oh, the
And-
girl from Harry Potter." I'm like, "I don't give a shit about Harry Potter." Like,
Yeah, he's like, no, Hermione from Harry Potter. It's like, yeah, she's like 12, dude. Chill out. Like,
well, at the
in the
time
movie-
she
in,
was
in the movies.
in
no,
col-
obviously she was
yeah.
college aged. You know what I mean?
But
in real
still, it was
life,
weird
but-
because he's older than me. So he was already almost 30 at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. The like, I don't know. It's like Millie Bobby Brown.
Right.
You know, like now, like she's a total smoke show now, but it's so hard to see her as anything but like 11 from
Stranger
Stranger
Things. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, I still like almost like I still see the little kid in there, and I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah, it's not like
But
when we were
She's
kids and
but now she's like 25 years old. She's absolutely stunning. Like,
yeah, and
you
she
know-
has a kid and she's married to John Bon Jovi's son, apparently.
Oh, I thought she was married to a Jonas brother, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, as far as I know, that yeah,
No, you're probably right.
the old ladies at my work gossip about all that dumb shit, and I have to hear it sometimes. So like, that's the only reason I know about it.
I mean, that makes sense because most of the shit that I get through pop culture, if I don't get it, like I always get my pop culture secondhand.
Yeah. Well, it's you mentioning her. It's not like when we were kids and it was like, oh, the countdown for the Olsen twins to turn 18. And it's
Which
like
also weird.
also
That was a
weird.
thing.
Granted, we're only like a few years older than them, but even I wasn't even on board for that because I was like, they kind of look weird to me. And then
And then I'm like, they were babies in that show, and you guys are like,
Yes.
yeah, but wait till they turn 18. I'm like,
why?
why? God, no. I'm like, that's fun. Like, no, I would rather bang Auntie Becky. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely. Even
You
though
know what
she
I'm
went
saying?
on to
Like-
commit fraud for a kid's college.
that's,
So-
I mean, if you're defrauding fucking UCLA, are you really committing fraud? Like, who?
Not
fucking
really.
cares?
No, actually, I'm not really mad about her, and she still looks good to this day.
She does look really good.
Auntie Lori.
Yeah, what did I say? Becky? Yeah, Lori.
I think
Auntie Lori.
I think it was Lori. Or
Yeah,
maybe
Becky
that's
was
her
the
real
sister,
name.
right?
No.
Yeah.
Well, there was Candace Cameron, who was fucking DJ, and then there was Stephanie, and then Michelle, which was played by the twins, and then you got the uncles Joey and Jesse, and of course Danny Tanner.
Lori Laughlin was Becky.
Okay, yeah, she played. Yeah, right. Yeah, I had
So
it
was
reversed.
Becky. Lori Laughlin.
We both had it reversed.
Yeah, no, she played. Yeah, she played Becky on Becky.
hmm
Yeah, but she was a total smoke, and
Yeah,
still
she
looks good to this day.
kind of looks like Diane Lane. They kind of have the same vibe and look to them.
Yeah, Stephanie grew up to be pretty good looking.
Oh yeah, Jodie Sweetin.
Yeah,
She's
Yeah,
got
I
some
mean-
tickle bitties.
definitely would. Definitely would.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean Candace Cameron went full blown like weird Christian conservative.
Ugh, just the worst kind. Yeah,
Well, her-
Stephanie was hot, but
Yeah.
What was I saying?
I forget.
Yeah, we got off on female cops shooting innocent bystanders. Now we're talking about
Full House.
Stephanie
and
Tanner's tits.
Stephanie Tanner's tits.
Uh,
Yeah, how rude.
How wooed. But yeah, like that's like the Olsen twins thing was weird because I didn't like the Olsen. Like I didn't. First of all, like I didn't understand the infatuation with them because like I always thought like sister those twins were like way hotter.
Oh, Tia and
Um,
Tamara.
Yeah. And they
Well,
were
we also didn't
older.
grow. We also didn't see Tia and Tamara as like infants and toddlers.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like once you saw the Olsen twins as infants, you were like, nah, dude, like that's weird. It was
Yes.
creepy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, people were infatuated by them turning 18. I do remember that. And then they turned 18 and it was just like, and they just like looked like fucking coked out fucking meth. It's the whole thing. You're like, oh, all right, never
Well,
mind.
they still look normal at 18, but then yeah, later, they look
Yeah, they
like
got like,
Skeksis from the Dark Crystal.
yeah, they like, wasn't that? Wait, the Dark Crystal, was that the one with the spider? No.
The Skeksis are the weird, like they look like buzzards and vulture creatures.
Yeah. No, I remember naming Skeksis like
yeah.
from South Park when she's like,
Yeah.
when they do the when Cartman, goes on the nanny shows.
Yeah, there might have been. I haven't watched that in a while, and I love that movie though. It's great.
No, there was this movie Liam Neeson was in when he was young, and it was like a fantasy movie, and there was like a glass spider or something. I'll look it up.
Okay, because as soon as you said Liam Neeson, and then you said fantasy, I was like, well, it's not Rob Roy.
No, it was not Rob Roy.
Which is a great movie.
This was like, I want to say like the 80s, late 80s, early 80s, late 70s.
Oh, so early in his career then, probably.
Very early.
Yeah, but pre-Darkman even.
Oh crap! Yeah, this is like I gotta go way back here. I'm just gonna start at the beginning. I'll know it as soon as I see it, like the title. But Krull.
Oh, Krull. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie
is
it's so good it's bad.
Yeah, it was. I watched it one night, and it was actually pretty like. The production was pretty terrible because, like, for 1983, like to make a movie like this was really hard.
Yeah,
but the story was actually pretty cool.
You have to know what it is going into it and want that type of movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was a very like fantasy, made up like it was like a live action Disney adventure.
Pretty much, with a pretty low budget for the time, I think.
I don't know what the budget was, but it wasn't like, oh my god, this is the greatest movie, you got to see it. But you're like,
no,
damn man, like they really knew how to fucking like write stories back then. Like I feel like everything today is just like rehashed garbage.
Well,
and then that was like this original, and you're like, oh fuck, like this is pretty cool.
If you're in the mood for that type of movie, that movie definitely hits. I have a lot of guilty pleasure bad movies.
Valley of Guanji
that I watch when I'm in the mood for that type of shit, and it's always a good time because it's like, yeah,
anything that's like claymation dinosaurs from like the 50s and 60s, I'm in.
Oh yeah, like Ray Harryhausen stuff, like Clash of the Titans. Although that's good, like.
Yeah, that's good. No, I was thinking more of like Valley of Guanji.
Okay, yeah.
That one was pretty terrible. I used to rent that from the Southworth Library.
Oh man.
Yeah. Pretty terrible movie, but it was pretty cool to me. But it was, like another Land of the Lost kind of thing. Like they get teleported back into like, oh my god, there's a dinosaur. What time period are we in?
Mm-hmm.
And they got to fight off this like T-Rex thing, and it's cool.
Yeah, I love that shit too, man.
Yeah. My whole point of this whole thing was trauma sticks with you. And I feel terrible for all involved in that situation in Montreal today, except for the shitbag shooter who is dead.
Yeah. And we're still waiting to hear the motive. Like, I pulled up when I looked it up just before we started streaming, like right as Joey told me about it, after I viewed the horrific footage. It said something about the shooter leaving an incel manifesto. It was a YouTube link. I didn't click on it. I didn't have time to do it because we're doing our pre-amble, pre-stream bullshit. And so I can't confirm or deny any of that. I literally found out about this just before stream in the first place. But yeah, I didn't click on that link, so I can't confirm nor deny whether that is accurate or not. This just happened today. We'll find out more as time goes on. It's just really unfortunate that any of this happened in the first place.
I mean, yeah, clearly. I mean, and it's crazy because Canada has such responsible gun laws, and how could something like this possibly happen in a such a safe space like Montreal?
Well, granted, we I can understand why, because we do have better gun laws in terms of like accessibility for responsible people, but that also makes it easier for illegal, well, people that shouldn't own them or own them illegally, that they can easily get them too due to black markets and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
Uh,
I could go.
that
I
can
can go
happen
buy.
anywhere, of course,
I
but
can go buy a way cooler gun on the black market illegally for less money
yeah.
right now. You know, granted, it would be a felony and it would be illegal, so I'm not going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I
Don't
could
do
go
that,
buy,
people. Don't do it.
Yeah, I could go buy a way cooler gun that I could ever own illegally for way less money. That's the other funny thing too, is like to purchase that really cool gun legally. You know, like let's say I wanted to get like something that had a fun switch on it, fully automatic. You know,
Mm-hmm.
insert whatever rifle here. Let's just say an M4, for example, right?
Sure.
I'm probably gonna have to pay like $7,500 to $10,000,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for a fully automatic weapon. And again, it's been a while since I've looked at prices, so don't quote me on these. I'm not, you know, a gun broker, but you're looking like I remember like going to gun shows and it's like you needed like the tax stamp, the ATF tax stamp, and all that shit in order to buy like let's say you want to buy like a fully automatic Uzi, right? 9mm. It's probably gonna cost you like $5-6 grand. I could go buy one off the black market for probably 1/5 of that or less.
Mm-hmm.
You know, granted, it's probably got a couple of bodies on it, but who cares? I'm committing a felony. What do I give a shit?
At that point, yeah,
You know,
all
They're
bets
like,
are
well,
off.
yeah, they're gonna be like, well, this you got caught with this gun, and you commissioned this gun in a felony, and it's like, yep, sure did. And they're like, well, this gun, you know, we traced it back. It killed 17 other people, you know, 7 years ago. I'll be like, okay, cool, that wasn't me. I bought it off some guy in a parking lot behind
Yeah.
Walmart. Like,
But
nothing that
still,
makes it right. But we make it very
ownership
hard.
is 90% possession.
Yeah, right. We make it right, only 1/10 of the law. We make it very hard to own cool shit, especially in Massachusetts. You can't own basically anything cool
Yeah.
anymore. But even in America, like, if people don't understand like how federal gun laws work, like if you want to have a gun that is fully automatic or even just 3-round burst, that's anything more than semi-automatic, you have to have a tax stamp from the ATF, which you have to pay $200 for. Go like jump through 10 billion hoops during the application process to get.
So much red tape.
And then and then like you've got to log it every time you take it out of your safe. You have to log it. The ATF can come to your house and audit you whenever they want, which invites just like a whole myriad of other things you don't want, like, you know, the ATF sniffing around for. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like what if I've got, you know, like you know, I'm stocking up on fireworks for the 4th of July because, you know, I don't know, I want to have some fun. Like I've got some bottle rockets, some candlesticks, and you know, maybe a couple like, you know, 1/2-inch mortars or whatever.
No, you can
like,
only
ooh,
you can only
Those are
set
illegal
off
in Massachusetts.
you can only set off snakes and sparklers, because
Yeah,
that's what I like.
right. Well, unless it's the biggest snake in the world, and then it'll crush Colorado. But nonetheless, anyway, I'm ranting now. But I don't want to go off a tangent about gun laws. But I can't believe this would happen in Montreal, where they have such responsible gun laws.
Right,
Like,
Canada is so strict.
You mean to
with
tell
their
me
gun
that guy
laws.
didn't see that this was a gun-free zone, and then was just like, fuck,
And he showed up in like fatigues and like seemingly
Yeah.
body armor too. Like,
and then just handed the cops his gun and was like, I was about to kill you both, but I noticed this is a gun-free zone, so can you take this? And
oh
then
yeah, sorry,
something
yeah, I
put-
ran
bring me
into
to
the
jail."
no gun zone. Jeez.
Gee whiz, you know. I
Oh.
just, you know, I thought I was going to go out there and shoot some Canadian goose today, but I just felt like shooting some Canadian pigs instead.
Right?
Too
Gee,
soon?
hey, no, I'm not saying that.
Too soon.
Some
wrong,
might
sorry.
argue, some might make that argument. You're not getting it from me.
I mean, it's not even been 12 hours, so maybe I should chill. But nonetheless.
Yes, it's tragic. We'll of course find out more as things transpire, as we more information is.
Yeah, I mean,
revealed
obviously,
about
we'll.
everything
I
that
doubt
happened.
we're gonna. I doubt we'll. You know, the only thing that gives me hope that we will find out like a motive and all this other stuff and all, we'll actually know the whole story, is because it does look like the kid was white.
Okay.
so that will fit the media narrative that they want, and then
It's been a while since they've been able to do that when it's one
they'll
that they
booty blast that one all over the place because they're like, we gotta make up for lost time. I think the only thing they're gonna be upset about is that he only actually killed one cop, and then the cop killed the civilians. They can't even use that like, oh, this guy killed two people. Like, no, he actually only killed one, maybe two if you count himself.
Well, here's the thing: most of the time, the last like major white shooters of people have mostly been celebrated by the left. Luigi Mangione, Tyler Robinson, not so much for the first failed assassination attempt on Trump.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hear that kid's name said that often, but still, like, especially Mangione.
Because he failed. They're mad. If he had succeeded, he would be a hero of the left right now.
Right, and Tyler Robinson to a degree, although you don't see a lot of people celebrating it right now because it's almost been a year. But there were those that did and still do. It's just they're more aware that they can get, if they have a professional career where they're potentially going to get fucked, they're not going to say certain things now because they know it can go viral.
Well, yeah, because obviously the Charlie Kirk thing, I think that changed everything. I know it changed a lot for me. It definitely changed the way I look at a lot of people, for sure. Personally,
absolutely, same.
I don't really, and I don't have any regrets about that. So, I'm glad in a way that they exposed themselves. I hate the fact that they exposed themselves because of what happened, but nonetheless, I mean, we talked about it ad nauseum.
Yeah.
The amount of people on the left that I considered, friends and even some family that decided that it would be fucking cool to celebrate somebody getting popped in the neck for having a discussion was wild. And like the amount of like shit I've seen pop up on social media too over the last month, and I know obviously it's all rage bait. It's designed to get you to interact. Like
almost everything on any social media platform is.
Yeah, but it's like during Pride Month, and it's like first Pride Month without Charlie Kirk, and they're like celebrate like how much better it is and all this other, and it's like really it's not just, and that's my thing. Like, and I'll say this about Pride Month because we're in it. We haven't touched on it yet, other than maybe the first show we did of the month. We were like, "Happy Pride Month."
Here we go. God damn
it. I hate the people that make it about make Pride Month about it's not just about accepting certain people's lifestyles. Like that part I'm completely fine with. Like I don't care. I never did care.
Yeah.
I couldn't give two shits if you're gay, lesbian, whatever. Like I really don't, honestly. Like just do you.
Well, it's not about that anymore, unfortunately.
It's not about that. It's about you must not only accept them, but now you must celebrate them and you must participate in the celebration. And they want to shove it down your throat. Like now it's become a thing that they shove down your throat because they know it irritates you. And that's why they do it. And they think it's fun. And everybody's a troll in their own right? Like,
yeah,
in their own mind, everyone's got a little troll in them. And it's like, but it's become so much worse in the last, I'd say 5 to 10 years, where again, like you're not allowed to just be like, yeah, man, I accept your lifestyle. You can get married, do what you want to do. I don't really care. It's no, you must now participate and celebrate. And if you don't, we're coming after you.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's not enough for them. And guess what? It's never going to be enough for them because it used to be about acceptance. I know plenty of gay people, and most of them resent Pride Month and what it stands for. They're like, we don't need this exposure. Like it's cringe. In fact,
yeah, most people just kind of want to be left alone and live their lives in peace. They don't need to be acknowledged, constantly.
Well, and that leads me to the next thing I was about to say. Exactly on that point, Joey. Straight people don't need a Pride Month. We don't need any kind of validation. We don't need to be validated by outside people because we don't base our entire personalities on our sexuality like certain gay people and members of that community do. Not all of them.
Not even close to all of them. Actually, I'd say probably a majority of them do not.
But unfortunately,
at least most of the ones I've known.
But I can name Yeah.
maybe one or two that were like the obnoxious in
Mm-hmm.
your face, I'm gay and there's nothing, or lesbian, there's nothing you can do about it.
Uh-huh.
Ha ha ha, you must accept me and tolerate me and include me, and fuck you if you don't.
And meanwhile, it's like, well,
But
okay,
then the
but
other
you're a stereotype.
yeah, but then the other 100 that I've known over the course of my life were just like, yeah, dude, like I really don't care. Like, just shut the fuck up and let me live my life. Like,
Exactly. We don't need that validation because we don't base our entire personalities on that. I can't think of a single. I can think of a few gay people that, personally, not the people that are online, because that's a gross misrepresentation, although they
absolutely.
are the most vocal of the community, that are
Or
like,
they're not
I am
even
gay
gay,
and
they're
this
just
is who I
LARPing.
am, and it makes me what I am. It's like, well, that's kind of sad. It shouldn't be that way. You should be who you are regardless of your sexuality. That's part of what makes you who you are, but it shouldn't be your defining quality. Because guess what? If that is what you're basing your personality on right now, outwardly, and that aggressively, you didn't have a personality to begin with, and you're making up
Correct.
for it by using that. You can, and that could be said about anything.
I
You could
mean,
be a
yeah.
great musician and just be that's your whole persona. Okay,
Yep.
that's still kind of lame. You're still a multi-dimensional person.
Right.
Flaws and all.
There's still more to you than just that. But people, like you said, people just like to whittle it down to like that's what defines me, and that's what I'm
Well,
gonna
and
roll
that's
with.
how they want to label themselves. That's what they are outwardly putting out there. That's what's sad to me about it, because it's like you could be the best at anything that you do, but if you're making it based on that or anything similarly based on that, like even just your personality based
Mm-hmm.
on another trait that isn't even like a skill or anything, it's just like who you are. Uh, that's fucking gay.
That's fucking gay,
And I mean
bruh.
that in the lame way. Like
Yeah.
it's fucking lame. Like I can assure you, even the most obnoxious, vapid gay person you could meet, or any other person, uh, but specifically gay for this argument's sake, uh, is 10 times more interesting outside of that their sexuality than they are with them just presenting themselves as being gay, because they feel like that's their defining quality as a
Yeah.
human being, and that's just weird. Like it shouldn't be straight people doing that either. Guess what? We don't, because it's like, well, that doesn't define me.
Because
Like,
yeah, that's not. But again, like I don't know. I kind of like I see the point of like like being gay and proud. Like okay, cool. Like you can be proud to be gay. Like I get it. You didn't choose that. It chose you. Whatever. Or in some cases, some people do choose it. I guess I don't know. I mean, I've heard that one too. Like
yeah,
whatever. Like some people have like I didn't have a preference. I just I never really had a preference. I did both for a while, and then I just fell into the the same sex. Whatever.
I
I don't know
tripped over a garden hose while playing lawn
yeah.
darts with my friend. Both our shorts fell off. My lawn dart landed right in his bullseye, and guess what? We both liked it.
Yeah. I mean, well, like, ooh, this is nice. But nonetheless, like, again, it's like I don't have to make my sexuality my personality,
Mm-hmm.
because it's nothing unique, I guess, if you will. Like, whereas being gay is somewhat unique in a sense. So, like, I understand that aspect of it. Like, really, if you want to be proud of like your community or whatever, like that little niche that you have,
Yeah.
and that's fine. Like, do you? But like, honestly, like we and you and I know this. Like, there's a difference between acceptance and tolerance. Like, I'm an extremely tolerant person. I will tolerate
Mm-hmm.
a lot of things that I don't necessarily agree with or partake in or participate in or want to. Uh, but it doesn't mean I have to accept it as part of like my everyday life. And like and maybe this is a pretty good segue. We can talk about the because Dartmouth High is kind of making the rounds right now, at least at the state level.
Well, well, I saw it on like libs of TikTok, and so that could be arguably. I mean, that's nationally seen.
So yeah, so it's even risen to the national level, where the Gay Alliance crowd, whatever, put up a
A bulletin board.
at our alma mater at our high school that
Mm-hmm.
said "Have a gay summer," and the comments are just filled with people being like, this is ridiculous, this needs to not be here. And while I like I don't know, I how do you feel about this one? Because I kind of have a tough time with this one, because part of me is just like, it's just a billboard, it's just a sign, you don't have to read it, you don't have to agree with it, you can just walk past. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
because I'm a big fan of, like, if you don't like what's on TV, change the fucking channel. You don't call the FCC
Sure.
and bitch.
And really, at the end of the day, you're just reading it. It's not what
Right,
if
it's not
if
like
it's
it's like-
affecting you badly, that's probably a bad sign for you as an individual.
Yeah,
Granted, you can have your opinions on it, of course.
but I also see the flip side of it too, where it's like, hold up, like, you got people who are anti, that won't let us, talk about religion in the classroom.
Mhm.
They want the Pledge of Allegiance removed, they want the American flags removed from the classrooms, like all this kind of shit. Those are the same people that are like, go have a gay summer. So what I think is happening here is, it's not about the fact that there's a bulletin board that says have a gay summer. I think this is a direct reaction to people being forced to partake in stuff like Pride Month and being called a bigot and a homophobe and all this other shit because they don't
speak up against it in any way.
Yeah, because
even
they don't
mildly.
necessarily agree with it or whatever. And even though they, one point in their life, they were like, dude, I don't give a shit, just bake the fucking cake, what's the problem? Now they've become so weary and fatigued by it, because it's been beaten over their brows for so long, that now they're pushing back on it every chance they get.
Exactly. And this brings me to something I was going to say before we pivoted into this topic, but it's still related. Do you find it funny that, like, the whole gay identity and everything, how people identify as gays and portray themselves as gay, is like all stereotypical?
I do. I've long found that funny, but also,
and
like,
how they fall into it, and they're like, "Oh, well, you're just being a bigot, and we're gay." But the way you're acting is literally a stereo. Whether you're a gay man or a lesbian woman who's butch, or like, it's either it's subconsciously or unconsciously they're doing it, or consciously, and they just lean into it fully, or they just like stumble into those tropes. But it's like the idea of gay people is still rooted in stereotypes, regardless of whatever letter of the alphabet on the flag that they identify with.
And, like, I'm not going to try to sit here and pretend like I understand what somebody's going through, how they feel, how they act, and like why gays, like, like, I've had gay friends, or friends who are gay.
What'd you guys get up to?
Yeah, that, like, covered a you talking like you got that golden Totinsky. That covered a wide kind of array of, like, the spectrum, if you will, of gays. Like, I had one friend of mine who was gay, and like, you kind of suspected he was gay, and you weren't surprised when you found out he was gay.
But you never really talked about it.
But he didn't come out and be like, and then I had another friend who was the complete opposite, who was just like, oh my God, everything is fabulous. And you're like, totally gay. And he's like, yes, I love dick. And you're like, didn't ask, cool, but whatever.
Hey, good for you, man.
Yeah, but like you said, then it was his whole personality. Everything was a cause. Everything was riding for a cause. It was pro this, pro that, all this shit. Like, and then, of course, they infuse it with their politics, because, that's, a way to prey on people's emotions.
It becomes identity politics. And again, it boils down to them basing their entire personality, identity, what have you, on that one aspect of it. And it's
like I said, Trev, like, those are two people. Those are two examples of two friends that I've had over the years that were gay, on two totally different ends of the spectrum. And then there's, everywhere in between, from, different variations of that, if you will. Like, some people were more, sometimes you would get them around other gay people and they would totally change.
Sure.
Like, they'd be way more flamboyant and way more themselves when they were around people that maybe they just felt like more secure
comfortable
and safe
with.
with, and that was fine. but like my friend who like was totally not gay, like didn't present as gay, like you kind of, like I said, you kind of thought he might be, but you weren't like totally sure. But then you found out he was. And you're like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Like we went to what was the gay bar over on 195 by where Market Basket is. Was it
La Place.
La Place?
Yeah.
La Place. Like we went there one night, and like a couple of his friends that were there, that we went with, that were like kind of not gay, like they weren't acting really gay. They got there and they started acting totally gay. He stayed the course. He stayed himself. Like,
Yeah.
so, but I saw it. Like I saw people go in there, and like I had a great time that night. I didn't pay for a single drink. It was awesome.
Oh, I've been there before when it was still a place, and yes, same thing. Like,
yeah, like I had this like one little, like I call him, he was like a little redheaded leprechaun guy. He was very small and had a red beard and red hair, and he just kept buying me whatever drinks I want. And I was just like, dude, I'm here with my wife, like not happening. But he was just like, doesn't matter. It's like, just keep an open mind, sweetie. And I'm like, okay, still going home to fuck my wife. Thanks for the drinks. And my friend who was gay was so pissed because he's like, dude, he's like, I come in here every fucking week and no one ever buys me a goddamn
I
drink.
wanted to
like,
fuck Warwick Davis dressed up as Leprechaun.
Yeah. Exactly. He's like,
God
I
damn
wanted
it.
to fuck the little leprechaun, you fucking asshole.
You know how long I've been trying to get with him, and you just show up willy-nilly with your wife, and he's already buying you drinks, and like, oh, just keep an open eye,
but then I was being obnoxious about it. Like I would like pull my shorts up a little bit and like sit with my legs spread like really wide, like, and I'd look at him and be like, hey, you think this is doing it for anybody? And he's like, fuck you, Joey.
Yeah, you like these 5-inch inseams.
Yeah, I
Pretty
was like,
nice,
wow,
right?
look at that. Oh my god, my briefs are coming out from under my shorts. My camouflage cargo shorts are somehow riding up.
You're like, one of my calves is the size of this man who's hitting on me.
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing. Apparently, being a bear is like, that's a big thing. It's a big deal for them. So they were
Yeah,
like,
if they're into that.
They were. How do you say that? How did I put it? I was like, oh, I'm a bear. I was like, they must be trophy hunting.
That's great.
Because I am a grizzly. But yeah, it was funny as shit. But it was hilarious. But it wasn't. But he never switched up though. He always stayed the course. Like he was the same guy at work. If I ran into him at the feast or we went to the gay bar, he was the same dude across the board. Whereas like other people would switch up, and like like I said, maybe they just felt safer and more included, whatever. And that's cool. I get that.
Yeah,
like,
that's fine. If they can switch it, that means there's more to them than just that. They're not.
That's kind of how I felt too.
At the very least, like
the overly eccentric ones were the ones that I found most obnoxious.
Over performative, like
yeah, because I'm like, dude, like you're doing too much. Like, can you just be normal? Like, not gay normal. Like, they'll be like, what do you mean normal? Like, no, I mean, like, can you just act like like you've been somewhere before? Like everybody doesn't care. Like, I think that was my problem with it. Was like, dude, like nobody gives a shit about your sexuality. Like we're in a bar or at a bowling alley or whatever, and you're over here like drawing attention to yourself.
Yeah, dude, you walked into the men's room, threw confetti, and somehow played music from nowhere, seemingly nowhere, and it was I'm every woman.
Yeah, and like meanwhile you got a Bluetooth speaker shoved up your ass, and you're just like, you're like
it
doing
did
the
sound
Ace Ventura.
muffled. Yeah.
Like, may I ask you a few questions? Can we take 2 minutes so I can make a drink and take a piss?
Absolutely, because I have to pee.
I want to get to Algae Gate before we wrap up.
Yeah, we'll hit on that and then we will wrap it up. Yeah, sounds good, brother.
All right, I'll be back in 3 minutes.
All right.
All right.
See you, folks. All right, we are back. Back, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So yeah, one last thing on that subject.
Yeah, sure.
One of the first gay friends I had, he was a little bit older than me, uh, and you would not know. I didn't know he was gay until he told me, and it was like months after I already knew him through other friends. And
Okay, so it wasn't the kid that was on our bus back in the day that you
no,
probably.
no,
Do you know who I'm talking about?
I think he was friends with who. If like you can let me know via text if you want who you think it was. He might have been friends with him.
Okay.
But you would not know it unless he told you. Like and he even called other gay people. He was like, "Oh yeah, that guy's a fag because he acts too gay." He's just like, "No, I'm just gay, whatever." Uh, he was into everything we were into: video games, playing sports, uh, just having a good time. And other than that, yeah, he happened to be gay.
Hey,
But you
I
would
just
not know it unless he told you because he acted just like somebody who wasn't flamboyant or like openly like I mean he was openly gay but not like uh yeah, I guess not stereotypical gay.
right, which is like kind of like I was saying, my friend from before. You know, they.
Oh, okay, I'm seeing. I don't know if he was. He certainly seems like he might have been, and I was friends with him too. Uh, but that guy actually gave me a bunch of like. He was hooking me up with. I'm not saying his name, so I can say this. He was hooking me up with like pictures of pornography, like women,
Yeah.
back in the day when you had to download it onto like discs, and it was
Oh,
like
trust me, he's the one. He's the one that told me what an orgasm was.
ah. Well, it wasn't. It wasn't him or his friends.
I think I was in 6th grade, early 6th grade, and I had no idea what that was. I was like, "What is that?" I didn't know what the word. I didn't know what the word meant. And the way he described it still sticks with me to this day. He said, "It's that." He goes, It's that lovely feeling you get in your stomach before you sputter all over the place." But he said it so gaily.
You know, it makes sense.
And it was like I still remember that like to this day.
I mean, it kind of does describe it pretty accurately. I got like.
I mean, like if I was like because he was probably a couple years older than us, so like if I was gonna describe it to a fucking retarded 6th grader,
Yeah.
because I didn't know what the word orgasm meant. Like,
Yeah, you didn't have any basis.
bust a nut or like whatever.
You've heard that, but you didn't know what it actually like.
Yeah, it was not. I did not have the definition.
No, but him and I were pretty close. He lived like right up the street from me, so we hung out and we exchanged
cool
like
kid.
video games and music and stuff. He was fine.
Yeah, he was all right.
He never molested me.
No, never tried to.
And I never got confirmation
like,
whether he was gay or not. He seemed like he might have been in retrospect.
He was definitely gay.
Well, he was a cool gay guy.
He was, but also like he never tried to molest me. Like, what was I not enough of a snack in 6th grade?
Yeah, I was an altar boy for years. Like what?
Yeah, come on, man.
Granted, no, we only had alcoholic priests at St. Mary's during my tenure there. So Father Sullivan left because he was basically about to die, and then Father McGlynn left because he was like, "Hey, everybody, I'm an alcoholic. I gotta bounce."
Yeah,
he probably went to Vegas or something after that.
Then Father Mike took over, and all's well that ends well. I mean,
oh, Racine.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a good man.
Like, yeah, I mean, dude, he married me and my wife. He did most of my cousins, he did most of my friends. Like
there were a couple of priests in between him. Although actually he joined when I think I did my confirmation, but he wasn't like head priest at that point.
Yeah,
but he certainly was there because I do have him in my confirmation pictures.
So what's funny about Father Mike is like, so when my cousin passed away in 2011, we ended up like tailgating the wake because we were there for the whole like whatever, it was like 4 hours, you know what I mean, whatever the wake is from 4 to 8 or whatever. So me, my cousins, like we set up, we brought a cooler with a shit ton of booze and stuff like that.
As
So
is tradition,
as it's, you know, it wouldn't be an Irish funeral without a shit ton of booze.
right?
You know, so my cousin passed on a, you know, pretty unexpectedly. But it was very sad. But we're out there and we're in the parking lot of the funeral home, and we're pounding down shots of coffee Patron and Jaeger bombs and ripping beers and smoking weed and all this stuff, right? I mean, there's 15, 20 of us, but we're like kind of like tucked away in a corner, like in like a little area of the parking lot that like no one would really go to.
Yeah.
Well, apparently that's like where Father Mike would always park, and we didn't see him go in. But when we all got out to the truck and we're drinking, and then Father Mike went to his car, and it was right next to my cousin's truck that we were tailgating in. And Father Mike walks by, and we're just like, "Hey, Father," and he's like,
Padre.
and he's like, "How's it going?" And I'm like, "This is exactly what it looks like." And he goes, "I would expect nothing less from this group. God bless." And just got in his car.
Blessed art thou.
Yeah, it was fucking hilarious, dude. It was awesome. I love that guy. But yeah, he did my wedding.
Nice. Yeah, he did the last rites for my Nana and my mom as well.
Yep, he's a good dude.
No, very good man. Every time I see him, yeah, it's a pleasure. He's just a solid guy.
Yep.
Has nothing to do with religion either. He's just a nice man.
Yeah, he is. Right, exactly. Very true.
But speaking of nice men, Donald Trump tries to do something nice for the Lincoln reflecting pool, and the leftists are just going batshit crazy about it. They're mad about the algae now. There's always going to be algae. There was algae with Obama, and now they're mad about me.
No, you didn't hear.
This is my algae.
You didn't know that algae did not exist from 2008 to 2016?
No, it came from Trump's hair specifically, right?
Yeah, it didn't exist.
Or he jacked off into it, and he was like, eh.
So this whole algae gate thing is fucking hilarious. So obviously, like, you know, Trump spent $14 million redoing the reflecting pool, cleaning it up, trying to get it cleaned, get rid of the algae, and do all this stuff. Now, it's a big-ass fucking pool. Anybody who's ever owned a pool knows, like, having a big-ass fucking pool is a pain in the dick to keep clean.
It's also in a public park in Washington, D.C., which isn't, like, the cleanest, nicest city.
Yeah, not exactly been known for its cleanliness and people taking care of shit over the last.
So guess what?
You know,
it's kind of
years.
always looked like crap, like in terms of the water quality.
So Trump spends $14 million to try to clean it up, and now the algae is is back because they're like, well, there's like it could have been built up in the pipes of the filtration systems, and it's going to take a while for it to clean out. And
they got to flush it out.
Yeah, to flush it all out, whatever. Now I guess Trump announced today that they're going to drain it again because the paint was peeling up on the bottom, and they're like, no,
like the lining that these people were like pulling up.
Yeah, and you got people going there to sabotage it at night, which is just absolutely ridiculous.
Which is probably why it's in pieces like that in certain areas. Like people,
most likely,
and some people have already been arrested for like carving, like into the stonework itself.
Yeah, like it's a national monument. I'm sorry, but like that's a national monument, and if you are caught vandalizing that, you should be punished to the fullest extent of the law.
That's like the same if you went to Egypt and took a knife to any of the walls there of
the pyramids, or like
Oh yeah, they should.
Let me get up on the Sphinx and write "Fats was here."
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, you should be. At the very least detained.
It's the same with these people that go into like these museums and throw paint on artwork and shit like that. Like
or glue their hands to the walls.
Yeah, they should. I'm not saying they should be shot on sight.
No, not that to that extreme.
But you know what though? Like you do that to a couple of them, and guess what? The rest it's gonna be a great deterrent from there on out.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not saying that's the best idea, but if we gotta break, sometimes you gotta break a couple eggs to make an omelet, Trav.
Well, I mean, you have to, otherwise you're not really making an omelet, or eggs if you're not cracking them in general.
I don't know, like I can't do the eggs in a carton thing. It just doesn't work for me.
Well, because it's not the same, man. It's not the same.
But the funniest thing about this whole situation, right? So CNN sends somebody, like, we got this report that comes out that like 250,000 girls have been like sex trafficked in the UK by
over
like
the last
Pakistani,
decade.
yeah, like by like Pakistani rape gangs and
barely
shit like that.
barely makes a goddamn
Not
fucking
even
blip on the radar in the news.
Although Keir Starmer did today say he was resigning as Prime Minister of the UK.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was because it turned out that he was one of the chief prosecutors in the UK when all this was happening and chose not to go after these people.
It's possible.
Or if it's because they've basically got a full-blown like civil war on their hands over there that's about to boil over.
We'll see. Either way, that guy's a cuck.
He's a total faggot. And not the cool kind of gay. He's not a gay faggot. He's a faggot.
Yeah, he's
there's difference. You can be gay, you can be a faggot. Those are not the same.
Exactly. There's a demarcation point.
Yeah. If you need further explanation, go watch South Park. But nonetheless, Trev, so this whole like project to get the Lincoln Memorial and the reflecting pool cleaned up and done, right? And CNN sends some woman out there to like test the fucking water and the pH levels in it. And like they get this pool expert on and like all this shit. And I'm like, really? Really, CNN? Like this is what you're fucking concerned about?
Also, none of that matters because it's not meant to be
You're not swimming in it. Yeah, you're not Forrest Gump. You're not wading.
Yeah, you should check the
Jenny.
pH. If you want to keep it clean, yeah, you need to check the pH levels and everything else like that. But you don't need to maintain it to be able to be swimmable by humans or anything else. Like no, it's a reflecting pool. It's not a swimming pool.
Yeah, exactly. It's a reflecting pool. It's there to be a body of water that's meant to be decorative.
Yeah.
But what's fucking hilarious about this is back in 2012, Obama spent $34 million to clean out the reflecting pool, get it cleaned, get all the algae out, and get it right. And then 1 month later, the algae came back
because it's algae. It's open water, still water. Yes, there's probably filters in place. But it's a very long.
It's a big fucking pool.
So you can filter it all that you can. It's still gonna get that in there. It's still around trees and grass.
I feel like they need to do a full renovation of it. Like, get some some monstrous size filtration going on, like some industrial filtration, and get that shit looking clean and sharp. Because like I think it would look dope if it was just this nice clear blue all the time.
Well, it looked like that briefly, and then the algae comes back. But like you said, people didn't complain or even talk about it when Obama was in office.
No.
It's only because Trump is in office, and he decided to do this. So everything that he does, whether it's big or small, makes national headlines. Whereas when Obama did it, nobody mentioned anything, just like nobody mentioned anything when he,
right.
Did drone strikes on civilians. So
and how funny is it, Trav, that we talk about this all the time, right? Like where we're like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter what Trump does. Trump could cure cancer tomorrow, and people would be out in the streets being like, cancer has a right to live.
Well, now they're saying yes, they would say that, but they're like, well, he cut cancer research. It's like, no, he cut unnecessary research that is going to a guy who's been saying he can cure cancer for like 30 years and hasn't delivered, regardless of getting the equivalent of like hundreds of millions of dollars over the last 20 years or so.
It's just so disingenuous. And it's like, it's like there was, I forget where it was, but there was a report that like car break-ins were down significantly, right? And they were like talking about it in the news. And this news station, and I don't know what station they were affiliated with or whatever, but the report was like, oh, car break-ins are way down, since the local police started enforcing, like the laws and everything else, like, and
imagine that
people. And and they're like, oh, car break-ins are way down. They're like, but it's actually negatively affecting some automotive shops around here that specialize in glass. And we're like, okay. Like, sorry to burst your bubble, but maybe like specializing in glass was, because there was a ton of broken windows, wasn't the best business model. Maybe you should have broadened that out a little
Well,
bit.
also, if you're basing your glass, auto glass business solely on break-ins,
On the crime rate, yeah,
that's not a good unless
it's a
you
bad business model.
unless you're based right in Chicago or
I think it was like one of those type of cities. It was like an area,
well, the thing is,
you know.
it's easier now to get all kinds of devices that will allow you to open up any kind of car door lock without breaking a window, if they're smart
Sure.
about it. Yeah, there's still the classic B&Es where somebody smashes it, but
Yeah, smash and grabs, like, oh, there's a person
yeah,
on the floor there. Let me break this window and
yeah,
take
but
it.
basing if somebody actually based their auto glass company on B&Es specifically, no, you gotta diversify your shit, my friend. You gotta also do auto detailing and some other stuff like mechanic work as well, because you're not gonna make your nut just on glass.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, but that's like the level of disingenuous that like these news reporters, like these news outlets have, where it's not about algae in the pool. It's not about how much money was spent to clean it. It's just about Trump.
Yeah,
Like they just
exactly.
want to go after Trump. That's all they care about.
It's never been about what he says or does.
Nope.
Uh, uh, I mean, to it some degrees, yes, but by and large, it's just because he said or did it. It's not. A
Exactly.
lot of things that he's done has already been done. Is what I'm
Yeah.
getting at, and it's
Yeah.
he has a certain way of saying things and going about things, which I can understand is rubs people the wrong way. I don't always agree with what he says or does. I think it's
Same.
all funny.
It's hilarious.
Regardless.
Absolutely hilarious.
But at the same time, I can acknowledge it's already been done before. He's not the first to do it. He's presenting it in a certain way that might be somewhat unprecedented. But beyond that, it's par for the course. And he's playing at Mar-a-Lago.
Right, exactly. And that's where I think like this whole story just like it's once again it's just there to prey on your emotions, right? Like it's just there to rile you up and get you fired up and be like, oh, look at this, another dipshit thing Trump has done, wasting more money, and what a this is your businessman savior, fucking blah blah blah. It's like, dog, like Obama spent $34 million on this same project 14 years ago.
Yeah.
And nobody said boo about it.
It wasn't even
Trump spends 14 million on it and everybody's losing their shit. It's like, listen, you can't have it both ways. I know you're going to try to paint it as both ways, but we're not buying it anymore. And that's the thing, like, because Elon bought Twitter, we now have access to free information, unrestricted information in a lot of ways, which, sometimes good, sometimes bad.
yes.
Sorry, let me rephrase that. It's always good. The information is sometimes not good, but it's good that it's there.
Okay. Yep.
Because everyone should be allowed to say everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just because you say something doesn't mean it's factually correct. So
yes.
But you understand that some people don't.
No, yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
If you want to go on Twitter and say like Hitler was a great guy and I wish he had killed more Jews, I can wholeheartedly disagree with that, but it's still your right to say it.
Yes.
So, but this is the problem the left has. The left doesn't care about the First Amendment. They just want the First Amendment for themselves, and that's it. They don't give a shit. They don't want you or I to be able to talk.
No, yeah.
They want only allies. Only the allies can talk.
They're hypocritical on that stance because it's rules for thee and not for me.
Have the cake and eat it too.
They want it both ways, but it doesn't work both ways. It's either all or nothing when it comes to that.
Absolutely.
And they don't like that, and then they're like, they try to weaponize it in their favor. It doesn't work because they always sound stupid because they're contradicting themselves by saying, well, I can say whatever I want, but you can't say that because it hurt my feelings. It's like, well, there's no... you can't have it that way. It simply doesn't work. Either you're an absolutist or you're a total free speech advocate.
Right.
It's not one or the other. It is either one or the other. There's no middle ground. You can't pick and choose like, oh well, that's okay to make fun of right now, or
right.
it,
You know,
yeah,
like, yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, you can't sit there and say, it's not okay to make fun of Charlie Kirk.
mm-hmm.
But but by the same time, go and be like, or make fun of Joe Biden, I guess, like, or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of somebody who's dead, but the right doesn't. We don't do that on the right, though. That's the thing. Like,
At least, I mean, we do, but some of us. I can't speak for all of us.
nah, you can't. Well, you can't speak for everybody all the time.
I
ever,
troll here and there,
period.
but and I'm not that big on it anymore because it's kind of a waste of time. But
Well,
like
yeah,
with
because what
with
the
Charlie,
thing is Trav,
yeah,
most people's real life views are way more skewed and fucked up than any trolling that you or I could come up with at this point, anyway.
that's saying a lot.
Like, I mean,
We're talking about you and me here, Joey.
yeah, like, I mean, like, I got blown up on social media a couple months ago, after the Charlie Kirk thing for saying that I was rooting for Joe Biden's cancer,
Mhm.
to end him, which was like said more like I said it in response to the people's
Yeah,
people's response to Trump not getting killed.
yeah, and that's what I was about to bring up with the Charlie. Like
Yeah.
they will say, "Oh, we can make fun of that, but oh, you can't make fun of like black people or blah 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 or any other mind or trans
Or yeah,
people or blah blah blah."
God forbid you say something like Michelle Obama's a man.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
like-
And they're like, and you know what? In hindsight, Josh was right for saying that. Fuck it. He.
Yeah, no, I listen. We talked about it last week. We said,
It was kind of but
would
the way
would I
he's
have made
defended
that
it
joke?
though, it's on point because he's like,
Yeah.
no, you know what? I'm not going to stand here and listen to people say Charlie Kirk deserved to get shot in the head in front of in the public and not have all this other dumb bullshit happen, and they can freely say that, and I can't
Mhm.
freely say this.
Right.
It was more that.
Right, they can call Melania a whore, a call girl. Or,
They've even called her.
mail-
She looks like she might be trans, so they can say the same thing about her. Like,
Listen, if Melania is trans, then I will date I will date a tranny.
she looks fantastic.
I would tear that apart, but
Exactly.
that's just me. If
that's
that's a tranny, that is the Mona Lisa of trannies.
I will second that. She's no Big Mike. That's for goddamn
Ain't
sure.
no Big Mike.
But yes, it's that mentality that gets them nowhere. They're fighting
Well,
this
it's
battle
why they're
of
losing, Trav. It's why they're losing, and it's why November is going to be such an important, time period in our country, because if
yeah.
if we can hold the status quo as it is right now, this will likely be the end of the Democrat Party as we know it. It's not the end of the Democrat Party, but the one that we knew, this radical left, because I think a lot of people are starting to realize that the AOCs, the Mondamis, the mayor of Portland, the Liz Warrens, the Ayanna Pressley's, like they're starting to fall further and further out of favor with people.
It's not sustainable because what they're saying
is lunacy.
Well, in mass, I see all these. Basically, it's posted on New Bedford Guide, and they're saying like, "Oh,
the one, the only
Elizabeth Warren is like out polling Short Sleeve and the other guy by like 68%," and it's like, but you just polled people in like certain small areas of like Boston.
You went up the 128 corridor, bounced off the exit for 10 feet. And found the first neighborhoods you could and pulled them. Like, yeah, no shit. Like, and don't get me wrong.
And you can see in the comments on those posts because everyone else is like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like,
and the problem. And listen, we'll talk about the elections in November.
Yes.
as it gets closer. Obviously, I'm full throated support for Short Sleeve.
I'm pretty much on board with him at this point too. Yeah,
because I mean, well, that and one of my good friends is his potential lieutenant governor. So
collusion. We're talking collusion here.
Yeah, who I know personally, and I know where he stands on every things that he can't say. I don't know, not can't say, but like might not be appropriate to say on the campaign trail. He's a politician now, so he has to,
Mm-hmm.
do it. But he's still a very real guy. But that being
Respect.
said,
Yeah.
Sean Oliver, who's running for lieutenant governor with short sleeve, is a good friend of mine. And full disclosure, he is a good friend of mine. That's why I'm supporting short sleeve. I liked short sleeve to begin with. I was kind of on the fence who I was going to vote for, when it came down to it. But now that, he selected one of my good friends to be his lieutenant governor, it's a no-brainer for me.
Hey, there you go, man. I'm pretty much on board with him as well too at this point. Yeah.
But we'll get closer as it gets closer. But I still have a very healthy level of skepticism that someone is going to unseat Maura Healey, even though she is actively campaigning right now to get, she took a question off the ballot that would have lowered our taxes by 1%.
Yeah.
And she used her people to get that question removed from the ballot.
And where is that? I saw it trying to be justified by some other asshole who works under her, and they're like,
"That's
it's
it,
so good that this didn't happen because that extra 1% that we're not going to lose, that's going to be maintained here, is going to go to help so much more public works." Like, oh, you mean like how during the Braga Bridge reconstruction, they build each traffic cone at like $3,000 some odd dollars.
It's insane.
Like what are we talking about?
Absolutely insane. And they're like, yeah. And then you go and you find out like who's friends with the owner of the company that did that, or whatever, or who's getting the kickback, like who's getting that, who's actually seeing that money. Now, this, that, and the other, that all that aside, like the problem that we have, like we don't have a revenue problem when it comes to taxes in this country. We have a spending problem.
Yes.
And the problem has become that if you do a good job with your budget and you minimize your budget and you do things on as little money as possible, then you don't get as much money next year. And instead of rewarding people for doing things with less money, we take the money away from them, and then they say, "Oh, well, we need to charge $3,000 per cone because otherwise we won't get enough money to pay all of our friends to do all this shit and make everybody fabulously wealthy."
And guess what?
And basically steal money from the taxpayers in a legal way.
And guess what? We, as the taxpayers, always lose.
Always. And you know what, Trav, at this point, I don't even fucking feel bad anymore. Because if you put Maura Healey back in November, you get exactly what you're voting for.
If that happens again, based on all the backlash that I've seen, because every like MB Guide thing I see, or even just other publication thing on Instagram or X that it happens to be local, they post that, and all like 99.9% of comments are against that person. And this person usually,
they get
Maura Healey, Michelle Wu, Elizabeth Warren, Ed Markey, career politicians at this point. Wu not so much because she's newer as a mayor.
Markey
but
is just an absolute
dude,
what a joke.
When I saw his commercials pop up again recently, I'm like, he's still around?
Yeah.
Like he was there when I was
he hasn't lived in this state for like 2 decades.
Like what the fuck? How I was like, he still has a position here? What the fuck are we doing?
Because people just keep voting for the same people. I see it all the time, right? When you see it with people like bitching, they're sitting there bitching and complaining about their Eversource bill and why is my electricity so high and why is my gas bill so high and all this. And I'm like, this is what you fucking voted for.
Yeah,
you
idiot. Voted for Healey. She cut down the gas pipeline, heavily investing into green energy, which is bullshit.
Trust me, as somebody who worked in green energy for 5 years as a solar rep, I can tell you right now, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not this magic cure-all.
No, solar at least is better than wind. I will give that because at least
solar's better than wind, but even still, Trav, it's still not enough.
No, you still have to supplement it. And
I won't regale you with go on a boring rant.
No,
about
that's a
why
whole nother. That's like
solar
a Joey
technology is
down the
still
rabbit
so
hole
far
episode
away.
we'll have someday.
But like the Ivanpah solar plant that they built out in was it Nevada, the one where they shot the James Bond movie,
Mm-hmm.
and all the panels. You know that's shutting down this year or next year. Like it's gone. It's like okay, ran its course. Bye. Like it's gone. It's not going to be a thing anymore.
Would they have to replace all the panels if they were going to do it because it's been out there that long?
Yeah, because everything's so deteriorated. I'll tell you.
Yeah, because that's probably been out there for like 20 years or so.
About that, yeah.
I would think. Everything has a shelf life. Like,
yeah,
things have to get replaced. The siding on your house, your shingles, your fucking windows, your carburetor, your oil in your car, everything.
Let's see. Shut down. Let's see. The $2.2 billion Ivanpah solar electric generating system in the Mojave Desert is slated to close in 2026 after Pacific Gas and Electric moved to terminate its power purchase agreements. However, the California Public Utilities Commission unanimously blocked the shutdown, ordering the plant to stay open. The problem is that it can't feed the amount. It's not generating the same amount of power. So
not enough sun, or the equipment is old enough now where it's not capable of.
Yeah, so solar panels degrade at a rate of about like 1.5% a year.
Mm.
All right, so like figure so you 10 years you're losing 15% of your production. So if you have
that's pretty significant.
So yeah, if you are producing 10,000 kilowatt hours, which is an easy way to kind of do the math, you're only going to be producing 8,500.
Mm-hmm.
After 10 years. And then in another 10 years, you're only going to be producing, whatever, another, whatever, call it 15%. So you're down 30% now.
Unless you're replacing that equipment that,
but the
would that
cost
help?
to replace the equipment.
Exactly. Does it
doesn't
outweigh?
Offset
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's nice. Like in the moment, like right now, like my panels on my roof will cover my electric usage for the entire year to the tune of about like plus 4,000 kilowatt hours a year.
Okay.
If I don't run my heaters in the winter downstairs, that's a totally different ballgame. Mm-hmm. But I don't have a hot tub. I don't have a pool. I run two window AC units and a mini split that I have that I use sparingly.
Yeah, you're not,
to say the least.
You're not going crazy with shit.
No, I keep my bedroom cold because
of course you have to.
Yeah, like I mean, there might be a week during the summer where it gets hot enough where I shut the house and run the ACs and leave the doors open so the whole house stays cooler. But other than that, like I just usually just let nature do its thing, dude. Like I just need to sleep comfortably. Like I don't need to be cold all the time. It's not Florida, you know what I mean, where like the heat is oppressive and the humidity is oppressive and you want to get away from it. Mm-hmm. And the houses are built for it and the electricity's dirt cheap. Which, go figure, right? Like, they're running ACs 10 months a year and cranked up. And meanwhile, their electricity bills are still significantly less and they have pools and everything else. But
because they don't have the goddamn delivery charge, probably, which is the crux
when
of
you
the
look
bill.
at your delivery charges on your electric bill and you see like the solar coupling charge, the renewable energy charge, like all these different charges, that's all going towards supplementing different clean energy, if you will, whether it be wind, solar, whatever, that's what it's going towards, or at least that's what they tell you it's going towards. But in reality, it's going towards importing electricity from Canada because that's where we get most of our electricity from now.
And that's
because
gay.
we shut down all of our fucking power plants.
It's gay.
And I don't know if you know how much high tension wires cost to put up and maintain.
Oh, I
but
do.
They're not fucking cheap. Yeah, like
not at all.
They got to fly helicopters out there to replace those and fix them and make sure that they're up and running all the time. Like those guys aren't getting paid $15 an hour like your fucking average Starbucks employee. So anyway, I could go on a long rant about the pitfalls of green energy and but the long and short of it is at this point, to me, it's a boondoggle. And I would highly advise against doing it, but to each their own. Do you?
Buyer beware.
Buyer beware at this point, man. Like, 10, 15 years ago, it was a lot better, but they don't kick back to you like they did. Like I still get paid like $3,000 a year for my panels,
Yeah.
cash, like paid,
Nice.
based on the production. And so, you figure that offsets my bill for the panels plus a little extra. And then I'm not paying an electric bill. So, you know what I mean? Like it all adds up, but it is definitely become a boondoggle.
At this point in time,
you're chasing a dragon that you can't catch.
Oh, I'm going to get you.
And then there's a great LA Times article about all the panels that they put up 20 years ago that they're taking off of roofs, but they can't dispose of because all the metals and heavy metals and elements that are within these panels that they can't put into landfills because it'll.
There's that, and if it wasn't installed properly, it can cause damage to your roof. With
I mean, those are like one-offs, but yeah, it does happen. But those
it can't. I'm not saying it happens all the time, but it can.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I mean,
if you had an inept crew doing it.
Yep, I mean it does happen because a lot of these companies subcontract out these things. They don't vet these guys. They just
they're just like, all right, here you go. It's the same as if you buy any appliances from like Lowe's or Home Depot. That's not Lowe's or Home Depot dropping it off to you.
No, the first company I ever worked for, they heavily vetted their installation crews prior to hiring them. But the problem was they got so big so quick that they couldn't do that anymore. And then the obviously the quality suffered.
They cut corners with their
it just
process.
happens, like unfortunately. And you got guys, ripping butts on the front lawn, screaming at their ex-wife about picking up the kids and shit like that. And it's just like very unbecoming. And it's like, well, they're representing the company, but they're just electricians that install the shit. They're like, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like this is just a job to them. They don't even know. They probably, they might not even know who it's for.
Oh, they're independent contractors. They're not direct. They're not employees.
They're not direct employees of the company.
Exactly. So that's a result of people.
Yeah.
Of business expanding too quickly. And
if my company had fired them as a subcontractor, they're like, cool, they don't lose any work.
No, exactly.
They're electricians. They're in such high demand. They can literally wake up tomorrow morning and have 10 new jobs lined up.
They would go to somebody else and rip butts on their fucking lawn.
Yep. Exactly.
And with that being said, I'm going to rip some butts on somebody else's lawn in the morning.
Nice.
And you got a race to get to in a little bit, so I think that's a good
I do. I have to go race Gen 4 cars at California so I can try to get my B license back because I only have a week to get my A license back because next week is Atlanta week. So very important things here happening, Trav.
Well, do you stream this, Joey? Can people watch this?
I haven't been lately. I've been slacking on my streams.
Same.
But I might do a day. I might do a Wednesday night stream at Atlanta or something.
Well, I only asked because obviously you can always plug it here, just as you can plug Row 1 Seat 1.
If I do, it'll be on the Row 1 Seat 1 Facebook page, or on the Row 1 Seat 1 Twitch channel, the YouTube channel, wherever you decide to find us. It'll be on the Row 1 Seat 1 pages.
Look that up for all your sports.
We will be live tomorrow night. NBA draft, the Giannis sweepstakes is coming up, so we've got some big sports stuff to talk about tomorrow night.
Gonna be talking World Cup at all, or you don't give a shit?
No, I think I watched the last 6 minutes of a game yesterday at a Father's Day cookout that I went to.
It just happened to be on. You're like, oh, all right.
And I mean, I would say I watched it, but I didn't. It was just on the TV, which I was actually facing away from. That was the most I've watched of the World Cup, even accidentally.
I work with quite a few Spanish-speaking people, and so it's on in the break room right now. And today I saw Messi score a goal in the game against Austria, and that made him like the all-time leader in World Cup things.
I did see that on Twitter.
And some of the guys are like, yeah, and then later he scored another one, so it put him even further. But
I'll tell you what, if Portugal makes it like to the deep into it, like I'll watch for that.
Either them or America. Okay, sure, that's fun. I guess.
Are the Americans even good?
They beat Australia, but I don't know how good Australia is.
I say I don't know.
When they beat that other team the week before, dude, I don't care. It's soccer.
I know exactly. That's why everybody's like, oh, they're like, oh, who won? I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Well, yeah, when it started last week, I'm sitting there and
I was like, I just watched the gay pride parade go down on the Cape or whatever the other day.
Yeah.
And I saw 3 guys making out at once.
And now I got to see soccer.
Yeah, and that was still less gay than watching soccer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm in the break room, and suddenly the guys that don't want the TV on during lunch, when they're sitting there and I'm sitting there, uh, they're watching soccer, and I'm just sitting there like, this
Yeah,
sucks. And like, who scored? I'm like, I don't care. Nobody got it. These people flop worse
it's
than
it is
basketball
just
players. It's gay.
it's just so boring. It's so fucking boring.
Because nothing could happen for 90 minutes, and people are still excited that it was
Yeah,
a
and they're
draw.
like, "Oh, great match, chap," and you're like, "What? It was a 0-0 tie," and they're like, "Yeah, good match of footy," and I'm like,
Okay,
"Shut
yeah,
the
maybe there
fuck
were a
up."
couple good saves from the goalies. Just show me that in the replay. I don't need to watch the whole goddamn thing for that.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like even like Formula One now. Like if I don't catch the race live, like if it's on at like
yeah, like
6
what's the
o'clock in the
point?
morning or something like that, and I have to watch it later, 9 out of 10 times I just watch the 30-minute recap
Yeah,
because
why wouldn't
that
you?
covers
It's-
everything, and nothing usually happens in Formula One anyway. So I'm like, who gives a shit?
Exactly.
It's like the soccer version of auto racing.
But soccer every match could be like that, with the exception of when a spectacular goal or moment happens. Yeah, that's great. But guess what? That's less than amount of time that a ball is in play during baseball, which is also
Yeah.
boring.
But you know what though? But at least in baseball, like if it's 0-0 in the bottom of the ninth inning, we at least go to 10
Yes,
or 11 or 12. Like, no, somebody's fucking winning this shit.
it's gotta end. It'll
Yeah.
take days sometimes.
Yeah. But
Indeed.
no, I have not watched the World Cup. I don't intend to, but I will watch it. Like if Portugal like gets deep and they're in it and whatnot, I'll throw it on because, well, I'll probably be watching it with a bunch of my friends at like the national club or whatever.
Oh, dude, if you're down there and you're amongst the people, that's fine. Like that's when I get into it. But I'm not gonna sit at home and watch it though. Like
and like how big of a ball did FIFA have to drop to not put Portugal playing in Gillette Stadium?
I don't know if they understand geography.
Yeah, like what the fuck was that?
I
Like,
mean, I know FIFA is a very corrupt and fucked up organization in general.
as most of them are.
I mean, the NFL is too. But
Sure.
yes, it real missed opportunity for them not to have.
Big time, dude. Like you have little Portugal in like 40 minutes away.
But you know what? I'm not mad about seeing all the footage of the Scots coming to Boston and out and drinking
was
every
cool.
goddamn beer in Boston and
Yeah, that
loving
was pretty
them,
bad.
loving their lives. It's like, you know what? You guys are. I always knew you're cool, but yeah, you're definitely
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, they were the ones that told Longshanks to go fuck himself, so they're cool in my book.
Freedom!
I am William Wallace.
I'm gonna show you my dick and balls. Hold on.
All right, Trav. Well, hey, that was fun. I
It was.
enjoyed it.
I am off
Good
next week.
show.
I will be at the Santana and Doobie Brothers show next Monday night.
Oh, nice. Good for you.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Enjoying some yacht rock, and then I have the next day off from work
Nice.
because I'm too old to go to a show at Great Woods and then come home late and then go to work for.
Oh,
7
fuck
in the
that
morning.
shit. Yeah, no, I wouldn't even want to because I wouldn't even be able to enjoy it while I was there.
No,
You know,
absolutely
like,
not. I
No.
already have the day off well in advance. I'm good.
Good call.
Hell yeah. But we will be back the week after unless you have anything going on that week, Joey.
Not that I'm aware of, so
Yeah, so that'll be the 4th of July weekend.
yeah, that'll be fourth.
Well,
the fourth.
yeah,
of
the Monday
Saturday,
following the
6th.
4th.
So
Yep.
we'll be back July 6th. Sounds good
Oh,
to me.
yeah. I'll be all red, white, and bruised probably. We'll see.
Love it. I should have the 4th of July. I will have the 4th of July off this year from work because I'm having surgery on the 2nd. So
Oh, shit.
minor surgery, but
You
it's gonna
finally
keep me up.
getting that fancy new vagina?
Yeah. So my pinky will be able to do more than just this. Like right now, I'm like, come on, and it won't go.
Oh, well, I'm
Um,
happy for Lauren. That'll
yeah,
be nice for
you know,
her.
Gonna get that. I just like I can't go to a metal show and be like, yeah. It's like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Doesn't work. So
Well, good luck to you, brother, on that. I'm sure
Oh,
you'll make
thank
out
you.
fine.
I'm sure I'll be just dandy.
You might even kill somebody inadvertently as you're being anesthetized.
Maybe. Who knows?
You got that retard strength. You just...
Retard strength.
I'm sorry, retard. That's right.
Yes.
How insensitive of me.
So you don't say Arab, you say Arab.
Oh, I've been saying it wrong.
I've been saying it wrong this whole
The whole
time.
time. Oh, so it's A-Rab.
damn A
A-Rab.
Yeah.
Like Rab himself, but A-Rab himself.
Like Rab the A said.
Exactly.
It's his rap name. Rabbi. Sounds an awful
Rabbi?
lot like Rabbi.
Yeah, we're touching too close to that conspiracy now.
Yeah, okay. Let's
With
not
that-
go down. Let's not go down that rabbit
Yeah,
hole.
no, we're not.
We
ending
might
with
have
that.
to explain ourselves for that one.
No, we can't end on that. AIDS.
AIDS. AIDS Burgers in Paradise for everybody.
AIDS burgers. There, I said it twice.
Enjoy your 4th of July, everybody.
Yes, indeed. Enjoy
the 250th birthday of the country. I know I will, and you should too. Do it with
We
a
all
lot
should.
of beer, a lot of food, a lot of meat, and have a lot of fun.
And
Be
we will
safe, too.
see you then. And Joey, good luck with the surgery, brother.
Thanks, bud. And yeah, I'll be in touch. I'll enjoy your show next week, and I'll talk to you on the 6th.
Indeed. I'll see you then, brother.
Cheers, homie.
Salud. Later.